this should work. Technology is just has been getting so weird. It has begun to work. So here we go. I'm gonna hi everybody. I'm playing a beautiful thing from my guest today. Uh, this really is a teaser. So beautiful. Gorgeous. Very beautiful. Wow.
Thank you, Cathy. Thank you so much.
There was one ballad that reminded me a little of Enrico Morricone.
Ah,
Yeah, that was really beautiful. Wow.
si.
You have a message from Daniel. I hear a bird. I see a bird. Doctor?
Ah, super. Coucou Daniel.
And then the Freddie, the bird singing from Thomas.
Ah, super. Coucou. Ah, that's great.
And then one of our dear friends who shows up a lot, and she's an artist. She lives in Seattle. She's a big jazz fan, Joyce Glasgow. So she's
Okay.
here too. Hi, Joyce. And there are probably other people. They comment at various times. Cheers.
Bonjour Cathy. Hello.
So my guest, my special guest, beautiful guitarist Frederic Loiseau. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Perfect. Perfect.
I got instruction from Daniel and Thomas on their last names. Now I feel good. I can pronounce their names. No, excuse me. I didn't. I guess I didn't realize, but you were in LA for a while, right?
Ah, sure. I came in 1986 the first time for a summer session at GIT,
Wow.
and it was a beautiful first step. And at that time, I met Joe Pass at the school, Joe Diorio, John Pisano, Carl Schroeder, Scott Anderson, all the guys, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I come back later in 1987 for the complete school scholarship,
Wow.
and it was such a great experience. Wow,
Those were really good days for that school too. I mean,
amazing day.
yeah, all of those guitar player teachers they were the top guys. They were so incredibly wonderful. So to be a young guitarist, wow, that must have been wonderful.
It was amazing because it was like a concentrate on a spot. I mean, so many amazing players.
Yeah.
And at that time at GIT, it was very jazz oriented. It
Hmm.
was so jazz. I
Yeah.
mean, when you have Joe Pass and Joe Diorio and John Pisano,
Yeah.
you know, and so it was fantastic time to meet them, to play with them in school, and listen to them and sharing ideas, and I keep learning even now from something from that time.
Oh, really?
You
In
know,
what
so,
way?
sometimes you remember a phrase, or you remember something you didn't grab at that time, and now it make a connection. Like years later, it says that's the thing.
Interesting that it comes back. I mean,
Yeah.
wow, it really just sits there.
Mm.
Just sits there and it's alive. It just sits there waiting.
That's right. That's
Um,
waiting for you to open your mind a little bit more, and absorb the more you can. And Joe Pass was so funny, Cathy. You can believe it. I mean, it was funny. It was amazing. I mean, it was at the same time so great music, and at the same time like a Woody Allen, humor all the time. Fantastic. What a great guy. Wow, a
yeah.
great guy. A
He
great
and
guy.
Joe Diorio together must have been pretty funny.
That's great. And most of the time in 1986, in the little lab of Joe Diorio, John Pisano and Joe Diorio and Joe Pass came in trio. So it was like heaven. You just stay there, listen, and sometimes you play a tune, and it was fantastic to see those guys.
It's kind of interesting that that when I mean I haven't really researched this, but when you think about it, there's a lot of Italian American uh, guitarists from the East Coast, who came up and became really great players, Pat Martino, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of interesting that whatever that was, that camaraderie or the relaxedness or the richness. I don't know. It's pretty
That's right.
interesting.
And it starts very early in jazz history because at the beginning, Eddie Lang was a fantastic guitar player from Sicily. It came in the United States. He had a great band with Joe Venuti.
Oh
Eddie
yeah.
Lang. So that was the inspiration later for Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli.
Oh
So Italy was there very soon.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I really, gosh, just maybe that's why I was, maybe that, seriously, maybe that's part of why I was drawn to guitar because of the personalities involved as well, you know. That's interesting. I never thought about that. The
Oh,
only
you have
person,
so much. Uh, you have so much to say about your meeting with great guitar player like Jimmy Finlay and Joe Diorio and Ted Green.
yeah.
Wow.
Then
That,
that was
I
the
mean, that
period
record,
too.
this one,
Oh
this
yeah.
one is amazing. This one is amazing. I would like to ask you, Cathy, tell me something. How do you uh, uh, how do you rehearse? Did you rehearse or not with Ted Green? How it
Yes.
comes?
Yeah, we did rehearse because he he wanted to, as you know, he didn't really stay in one key for the whole song. So he would pick, he was very, very particular, right? He was, I mean, if he said shuffle, he didn't just say shuffle. It was like all these details about what kind of shuffle so that you knew what he was talking about. So the harmony and the keys were really important to him. I think I was talking about that with Thomas the other day. But he, like, the difference between A and A flat made a huge difference for him. So and I was very amenable, I was flexible. So what I didn't, I had grown up singing. My dad was a sax player. My sisters played piano and sang. I did gigs, But when I got to LA, for some reason, it was kind of a new beginning for me again. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but anyway, so I was with Ted for a while, and then I went to do a gig, and I didn't realize that I was doing the song in basically the wrong key for me. you know, and then at the bridge, I would go to a different key, right? And that took me a minute.
Oh,
But yeah, we rehearsed, and for the later, like when we did the video for at where he and I were doing a lot of old rock tunes and stuff, we rehearsed. Yeah, he just
oh.
he was such a sweetheart.
He's fantastic. He was fantastic, and uh, he was so unique, and as a like. He looked for so much in classical and baroque music. It's very unusual for jazz guy. And there is something I like very much in Ted Green too. And we can hear this in your recording. He comes at the end of the tune, and we think probably it's the ending. But he finds a little chord, and it's a new entrance for a new world, for a coda, which is just amazing. That he just imagine on the spot. That's
Yeah,
gorgeous. I
yeah,
love it.
that took a lot. You can imagine how much time he spent just listening and exploring, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you ever have a lesson with him?
No, I don't. I didn't. I wish I have. I wish I could have seen him in life too. I never. But I listened to him. I saw video and I have a very good story from my friend Sid Jacobs.
Oh, okay.
A great guy,
Yes.
amazing player. He tell me a fantastic story about. You would like to take a lesson with Ted Green, and Ted said, "No, Sid, I don't give a lesson to you. But, you're a master. No, okay." So what Sid said, he did. The only way which is possible. It's if somebody have a lesson with Ted and he couldn't, you have to send somebody else.
A sub.
And once a sub, and once a friend of Steve couldn't do it, and he said, "Okay, I come." And he come and Ted say, "Oh, you're crazy." I love that story. I love it.
Actually, Ted gave lessons to a lot of high level people. Larry Carlton took lessons from him. I mean, I don't know if they went every week, but they definitely, sought him out. He was a special human being. He was great. He was so lovely, lovely. His girlfriend was a guitarist also. And when he passed away, she actually did not last much longer. She passed away like 4 or 5 years later. It just broke her heart, that he was gone. And but they both, they had that in common. Very, very, very wonderful, sweet human. Yeah. I also have my friend is kind of posting your discographies here and your credits, and I have a friend who is a guitarist. He's a young man, very nice guitarist. He goes to University of North Texas, and he's very active. He's very meets a lot of the musicians coming in and has interviews with them, and he always comes and offers questions, especially for guitar players. So I'm going to have to give you some of these questions if you don't mind.
No, of course.
Um, so when you're working on discovering new voicings, say a dominant 7 sharp 11, are you working it out in terms of root and inversions most of the time?
Hmm. It's a very specific harmonically. Yeah, I am thinking from the root for sure. Yeah, I try to listen everything from the root and superpose. Like the foundation of the house. It's quite solid with the fundamentals, and you go up.
Yeah. Okay. And then he offers this. I've mentioned this a lot previously on the shows, but I think Frederic would dig the 4-Note Universe by Noel Johnston. There are etudes and exercises that stretch your harmonic options. I think isn't that one of your teachers, Taylor? Or I can't remember. But anyway, and of course, guitar players. The thing that amuses me about guitar players is you could be 88 years old and you can walk to your friend and go, "Look at this new voicing I found."
That's right.
It's like, really? You've
Well,
been playing like 75 years and you still are finding a new voicing? Wow.
That's right.
Why is that?
I mean, we could say that for other instrument, and I mean for everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
it's more about life. That's about music. It's just imagine that every day it's your birthday. I mean, it's your birth. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
or at least even more. Every moment should be a birth of something,
Yeah.
and try to stay in the moment. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
That's a very nice way to put it. And I think that's like you and I were saying how when we first got on that we're feeling really good. And maybe that's what's happening actually, when I think about it, because I've recently discovered some new information about voice technique that's got me very enthralled. And I have several gigs coming up this week with Jamie and a recording. And so now I have to be like deciding what I'm doing and rehearsing and so every day it's something unique. And even though I have this show, I get to speak with different people, which is wonderful.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how long did you stay in LA?
So I stayed for 1 year and 3 months almost. The second time.
Okay. Then you went back to Paris?
Then I back to Paris. That's right. And,
Somebody the other day told me that Paris, they thought of Paris as a small community, the jazz community.
that's right. That's
It
right.
is.
It's and I mean everybody knows each other. I mean, very of course different people you don't know, but it's a small family,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Mm. But we could say the same for LA probably too, because even if
yeah,
it's huge. I mean, at some point, I mean, people in relation in the same, interest,
yeah,
you connect for sure.
yeah. That's true. There are a lot of in LA because it's so large. Over the years, it's easy to kind of have these runs with people, right? Where you're for a year or two or a few months or whatever. So you're playing a lot with them and then gone and moving
And
on to somebody else. So I do find myself coming around to people from the old days that I haven't played with for a long, long time. Um, it's very interesting, the community. I love it.
uh, I would say the big difference. It's in LA. If you want to connect, you need to have a car. In Paris, you don't need a. You just take the metro.
Yeah, you're lucky that way. Very lucky.
No,
Um,
I really feel the community of LA when I was there,
yeah,
and I came back after later, and there is something very strong, and of course I know more the jazz guitar communities,
yeah,
but there is something very strong and very deep and respectful and amazing. I mean, amazing musician. I mean,
that's true.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Wow.
I think about guitar, the guitar community as possibly a little stronger than most other instrument communities because maybe because you guys can play with each other,
That
like there aren't
that
too many bass players who play with each other or pianists. Um, because always, I mean, the guitar community is very meshed,
exactly.
everybody knows each other. Yeah. Hmm.
You're right, Cathy. Exactly the same in here.
Yeah.
Exactly. We have a
Yeah.
very great connection with some great guitar friends, Serge, Thomas, and some
Yeah.
other friends too. Very related and always playing, sharing ideas, expanding ideas, and growing, and
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah. Yeah. Really beautiful.
Yeah.
I love singing with guitar because there's something the space that guitar creates and the quality of the tone. Yeah, I really do love singing with guitar.
Ah, super.
So I love you.
I think it's a beautiful combination. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a string combination.
yeah,
It's string and art combination. So mm, there is something, and there is something sweet too. I
yeah,
think a special tenderness too. I mean, I like that too. Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Um, let's see. I have to look over Taylor's questions because otherwise he'll take over the conversation.
And thank Tim for his question. I hope I can answer the best I can.
Oh, you can, but a lot of times, like it's technical. And Taylor, I offer you to communicate with Frederick about, the technical questions that I'm not going to bring up for whatever reason. But I might. But I like this question. It's not technical. If you could name one record that you believe is underrated, which one would it be?
Hmm. Ah, in the jazz.
That's interesting, isn't it? So it's
Ouais, ouais.
obviously a record that you love that you don't think people appreciate enough.
Let me think just a little bit about that.
Taylor, I don't know if you ever answered that question, Taylor. What
It,
record do you think is underrated?
does it think mostly about guitar, about everything?
Say that again.
Does it think about guitar land or
No,
everything?
no, everything.
Right. So there is a great, you know, the great record from Pat Martino and Gilles Goldstein, duet.
And what is it called?
Alors, I don't remember the name.
So,
Pat Martino, guitar player, and Gilles Goldstein, it's a duet.
oh,
It's probably very known for guitar players, but for other musicians, I'm not sure of that. I can, well, I don't want to check, but this one is a great one, for example.
I can look for it. I'll just look for it online. So it's Gil. Did you say Gil Goldstein?
Gilles Goldstein and Pat Martino, duet.
Sorry, Bill Bernstein.
Gilles
Goldstein and Pat Martino. So, yeah, maybe.
Daniel loves that record, and Thomas too, for sure. Wait, that's right. Pat Martino and Gilles Goldstein. I wish I could write.
I mean, this is not it because this says this is a trio.
No, well, no. Does no? It's not Bernstein. It's Goldstein.
Goldstein. Yeah.
Gold.
I see,
like Gold.
Yes.
And this one is amazing. I mean,
this one. We are together again.
Wait, exactly. We are together again. I think that's this one.
This is yeah.
Okay. No, that's the second one, I think, so. That's the second one. The first one was from 75, 76, probably.
Oh, really? Let's see. Oh, right, because this says we are together again.
Again.
So, okay. Well, we'll go look for that one.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it should be known for everybody, you know.
Yeah.
And Pat Martino has such a lyricism, you know, amazing musician.
Yeah, beautiful. Cool. We'll be together again, Daniel says. Okay.
Well, right.
Oh, and we'll be together again is the title. And Taylor says a record he thinks is underrated is Vince Guaraldi Trio featuring Eddie Duran on guitar.
Whoa.
That's cool. That's cool too. Very cool.
Right.
So, so you came back a long time ago to Paris, and then
1988, right?
Okay, so and then how did your career go? What were you working on? Just jazz? Were you expanding out into other areas? Were you traveling a lot?
It was mostly jazz. I did very little some variety gigs, but it was very jazz. So it was a combination between jazz playing and teaching, jazz teaching too.
Okay, yeah, and that's a long career. I'm looking for some of your pictures. I think would be fun to look at that you sent me. You sent me a whole bunch of pictures. Let's see. Let me see if I can. That's your trio. Tell us about your trio. This is for your last record, right?
Okay, that's the last one with André Charlier and Benoît Souris. André Charlier on drums and Benoît Souris. Those guys would be really interesting for you, Cathy, to have an emission with them. They are great guys. André Charlier, great guys. So I met André in Hollywood in 1986. He was at school there, André. So it's a very long friendship. And Benoît a little bit later, and we played for a while. And André and Benoît are the men they made a beautiful school in southern Paris 20 years ago, and I am in that school for years with them too. So we share CDs, scene, and some teaching too.
That's a lot. That's a whole lot of things, right?
So the last one, Cathy, it's called d'instant en instant. The last one. So what we record
I
on
probably have that right here somewhere, right? Or
it's at
oh
the
yeah,
beginning
right
probably.
here, right there.
Well,
It,
that's right. That one, we recorded mostly compositions that I wrote, some from Benoit,
uh-huh.
and we before we start the station. I mean, we start the session with improvised free session.
Nice.
So I have this in mind to keep like a free spirit in everything we're gonna make, even in written music.
Yeah.
So later we check it out and we keep some piece and we put it on the CD.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah. I love that. And here's a question I have. Carl Schroeder.
Mm.
What I mean, I've been looking for Carl. I want to see where he is, but I can't find him. Do you know where he is?
I think he's living in Pasadena for sure. He's in LA for sure.
I don't
But
think so. I've looked. And I mean,
well,
I used to know where he lived and everything, but
I mean, I don't have news for several years now, but I think he's in LA for sure. Probably it was such a fantastic. I mean, rencontre. It's such a great meeting. I meeting at GIT Carl in 1988, and it was like a coup de foudre, you know, on that man. Such fantastic artist and teacher, and we keep in touch for years. And 20 years after, I call him in 2005, and I say, "Oh, Carl, I would like to record with you in duet." He said, "Fred, come. I booked the studio in LA." So I went there. I went there in July 2005, and we recorded together that Red Shoes with
I,
Carl.
I can't wait to hear that. Maybe we'll play a little bit.
Alors, if you want to play one, you have a body and soul on the.
Okay.
If you want to play a little bit of this one,
Yeah. Let's see. Let me get back to where where I have that somewhere. Body and this one, body and
no,
soul.
exactly.
Cool. Okay, we're gonna listen.
Thank you. It comes.
Wow. Wow. So great to hear him. Oh, wow. Woo! Damn. That was really nice. Woo!
Thank you.
Wow, that was you really have to you have to be present to listen to that, and and be okay with space and not rushing through, That was gorgeous, really beautiful, both of you.
Thank you. I mean, it was such an experience to be in the studio with Carl and feel his amazing presence. I mean, I never feel somebody who put a chord on the piano and it's just for you to play. It's just here for you, and I mean, that's amazing. He's,
Yeah, I
he's
sang with him a little bit. And also, he told me about Madame Shaloff, right, in Boston. When he
that's right,
in
Shaloff.
Boston, so he studied with her, which she was super tough and very restrictive. But
Ah,
well, she would have people for 6 months play one note.
wow,
She wanted them to get the connection and the feel, and his obviously it worked for him, right?
that's
His
right.
his it was like, oh God, his touch and his sound, great.
And one of the thing with Carl, which was amazing, is that uh, I see how it takes time to play.
Yeah,
He never rush the. It's not about drag or rushing. It just takes the time to be there and play something, you
yeah,
know. And
so beautiful. It's what's I don't know. I don't even know if I have a question, but it's interesting that okay, so you're playing a duet with Carl,
that's right.
and obviously he um I mean, because of the nature of playing together, um, somebody always takes the lead in a moment, right?
That's
And
right.
so there were many times where he took the lead into an unusual direction. And, you know, the act of being the other person and hearing and then deciding or I don't know if decide, we don't like to take too long in decision, but you do decide in the moment, which way am
Right.
I going, right?
That's right. It's a moment to moment decision
Yeah.
because it's always improvising, and it's like in a discussion. And what is special with Carl, it's how we keep so original in the purpose, and so with you with the song. I mean, it's a free connection, amazing with the song, with the present, and with you, and it's very special one. Sometimes you have two and you miss one, or. But I feel really this very strong with Carl when he played those three things. Wow, very special, and something very great too. I learned from him too. Say, expand your jazz, go into classical music, okay, and we
Carl
can
Carl said that.
and we can listen to this on the way he play.
Yeah.
I mean, he has listened different thing which is not in jazz, and so yeah,
Yeah.
French composer, Debussy, Fauré,
Yeah.
Ravel, and so one time he said to me, Fred, okay, you come to me in LA to study jazz, but make sure when you come back in France, study your French impressionistic guy. They are the masters,
Yeah. Yeah.
mostly Fauré.
Oh, really?
Gabriel Fauré, great. Ouais.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Um,
that was the beginning of something for me, because uh, at that time I was so much into jazz, and I am always into jazz for sure. But after that time, I feel that jazz was not enough for me to grow. I need something to put in different. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And maybe that's why I heard in your ballad that that Enrico Morricone kind of a
Mm.
sound. It was like, oh, and it was probably, I'm not very schooled in classical music, but I do love the Impressionists, and makes me want to listen more to, to soak that in and make it part. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful music. Um, you know, I have to say this because it's like the elephant in the room. You know that idea? There's an elephant in the room and nobody talks about it, but it's there. Anyway, so Carl was like, had a sewer mouth. Do you know what I mean?
No, what do you say?
Sewer, a sewer is like in the street where all the garbage flows and the water.
Okay, I know what you mean.
And he had a sewer mouth, man. He was terrible. He would talk to students absolutely like rudely, but he obviously the music was so important to him.
Sure, sure.
And one time I was in Yugoslavia, and I actually was at the end of a gig. I was trying to get out of Yugoslavia. It was during the war. And I was in this club where I was sitting in, and this bass player happened to have been a GIT student. And we were talking about Carl, and he said he hated Carl in the beginning because Carl was so rude, and
I know what you mean, for sure.
then he loved Carl because, of what Carl pushed you towards, like, come on, commitment and
That's
do
right.
it.
Right. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Mm.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try again and see if I can find him again. I don't know.
You
I
can
rem-
find it. When he was in 1986, I saw him in club with Peter Smith.
who is here?
That's great. I love him. Hello,
Okay.
Peter, Joe Diorio, and Carl Schroeder. Do you know how they spell the concert?
You were what?
How do you spell the concert with the three guys? The three beers. I love that.
That's very funny.
The free beers.
That's very funny. I can just that kind of flows in on all their humor. Their humor is definitely where they meet. Those three guys.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's funny.
I love that.
My God. Yeah, Putter's rehearsing with Jamie right now, and
Perfect. Say
then
hello to Peter too.
I will. And
Yeah.
Putter, maybe he'll come back here. Putter and Jamie and I will do a gig on Saturday night.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so
I
fun.
can't wait. Yeah, it's going to be really nice.
Fun.
It's a good week. It's
Perfect.
a good week. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Taylor would like to say, outside of music, what brings you fascination? What types of things help influence your playing or your writing?
Reading.
Writing, playing.
I love reading books.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Well,
reading.
I love reading. So first I was kind of passionate by history. I love history. I
Yes.
mean, and then I go in history of music, history of jazz. So I read a lot of books. I have always books with me. So here I have look here. I have some Gabriel Fauré, the French composer book here.
Ah.
I am very into.
Do you only read in French or do you read it in English?
Gabriel Fauré.
Do you only read in French or do you?
No, I read in English too.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to read. I love to read some spiritual books too.
Me
From,
too.
This one. It's
I don't know.
Erigel. It's the art of a tir à l'arc.
Yes, archery.
Ouais.
Zen and the Art of Archery. That's that book.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I've read several of those. Those are really good.
So reading, it's very inspiring. It's a
Yeah,
great inspiration, always, for sure.
me too. I have too many books next to my bed because I also have a kind of a Gemini thing, like I'll read something for a while and then I'll go, okay, what else is there? But I really like spiritual things. They excite me and make me have ideas and make me move.
Me
So,
too. I'm very into this, and
yeah,
working on our ego, and find the good place where the mental doesn't decide anything, and
yeah.
like trying to go this way and not to in the head always.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
So it's a lifetime,
Yes, it is.
a lifetime.
Lately, I want to get more into improvisation as far as not starting in a song, just improvising. And so, yeah, I think that's going to be my new. I mean, I have done it in various ways. I have a vocal group, like a seven-piece vocal group, and we improvise. We've been together about 8 years, and that's great. It's been great. And certain bands that I have, I can do that with, but I want to get into that more. I
I love
really feel like
uh,
it.
I love that, Cathy. It's amazing to do this way. I more and more in that, and what I like to do, um, it's like in a conversation. I mean, when we speak together, we don't say, "Okay, we're gonna speak about politics." We just speak.
Yeah,
So I like this part of music. We just play a little while, and we have no judgment at all about anything. It's
yeah,
just the way it is. And sometimes we can find a way to go from a free form piece to a song,
yeah,
and find the way where we don't see the frontier, we don't see the line. It's very hidden, but I like this.
yes. Beautiful. It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, it's where we're created. I want to see, let's see. Oh, yeah. You have a hello from my dear friend, Meredith D'Ambrosio.
Oh, c'est pas vrai. Mais oh, she's fantastic.
Yes,
I
she
love,
is.
I love her.
I do too.
Oh, c'est incroyable. It's such an amazing story. I mean,
Between you two?
it's amazing. I mean, I knew Meredith for years with CDs, and
Yeah,
with
yes.
but very recently we had a strong connection, very strange and beautiful and mysterious. Um, and we're in connection. It's amazing, and I love his artistic vision. I love the human being, and we share artistic ideas, and recently I composed some songs for Meredith, and she writes lyrics.
Really?
And I mean, I have a dream. I love to record with Meredith. I mean, I love to record with her in duet. It could be a dream for me. Wow.
I was just there in Boston in June, and
Uh,
she happened to be doing a gig, and I got to hear her with a pianist, and it was really beautiful.
uh,
It's always good to hear her, but it was so special because I hadn't heard her for a long, long time.
mm.
Um, and yeah, and her painting is just
Oh, the paintings are
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
I mean,
gorgeous.
his artistic vision is amazing and complete, and I was very impressed by the way she composed. I mean, the way she composed, it's very advanced. I mean,
It
the
is.
harmonic proposition, it's not usual. I mean, it's very hip and sensitive, and wow, it's something that grabbed me very, very strong. Wow.
It's wonderful. One time I'm talking about you, Meredith. One time, I've had workshops here for many years. Like visiting artists as well as me. And so Meredith was here, and eventually, all the students were sitting like like she was, sitting up here. The students were like sitting on the floor and all around her, just listening to her
Wow.
talk about things. It was really great. And that was
Oh,
kind of unusual. I hadn't seen that before.
wow.
Yeah.
Say hello to Meredith. Cuckoo.
She
That's
said you're a
amazing.
wonderful guitarist.
Wow.
Yes, he is. Um,
Oh,
Roland, my friend Roland, is offering a book called The Four Agreements. Are you familiar with that?
no.
Very tiny book. It's um, it's written by an Indian, an American Indian, um, and it's basically his tribal agreements. And there's four agreements. Very simple, but it's a deep book. It actually, it's like one of those things you read it and then you go, wait a minute, what was that? Let me read that again.
Is it the Toltec agreements?
Yes, yes,
Okay, I know. Okay, that's this one. This is great.
isn't it?
Don't make supposition.
Yes,
One of these.
yes.
This is one of these. This is
And
great.
and even do your best,
Do your best. Ouais.
you know?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Be true to your word. Don't
Ouais.
assume, right?
Ouais.
And do your best. I forget the fourth one.
And the one you said with correct words, it's very strong for me because uh, if we keep thinking and say weird words,
Yeah.
those weird words go into our thinking and deeply. And if it's bad, we kind of, I mean, we're in this mood for, and we did. It's like a poison, You know what I mean?
Yes,
I think so.
I do too. And here are the four agreements. Be impeccable with your word,
That's
right?
right.
Don't take anything personally.
Oh,
Yeah. Don't make assumptions.
yeah.
Always do your best. Yeah.
That's great.
It's so simple, but it's
Mm.
like, oh, yeah. Wait,
So
am I
great to
doing that?
remember. Mm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Great to remember.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Um, let's see. Oh, you have a friend here, I think, Marie Christine Daki.
Oh, she's my lovely girl friend. Oh,
Ah,
she's
bonjour.
bonjour, my Christine. Oh, she's an amazing woman, and she's an amazing artist too. I would love to play one of his tune. If
Okay.
you want. She released a fantastic CD recently, duet with a singer, and you're gonna see her in November for sure.
Okay. Oh, yes,
And
definitely.
and on one of these records, she played a song. I don't want to tell you. I would like you to, because that's going to be a surprise for you, Cathy.
Okay. And her
Uh,
name is
uh,
Marie.
alors, it's if you go no, if you have to go in the WeTransfer audio,
Oh, okay. Okay,
please.
great. I don't have to share. I can go to,
Okay, it's number 6.
okay.
So you're gonna discover Marie Christine on upright bass.
Peacocks, correct?
That's right. That's that tune. I know you like that one.
I do. Okay, here we go. And Marie's name is Marie
Marie Christine.
Christine.
Marie
Okay.
Christine Blackie. She's a Italian connection too. Italian. We spoke about that. Uh,
Beautiful. Wow, that's beautiful. Very
That's,
beautiful.
oh,
Makes me think about, harmonics and
huh,
yeah, I read something the other day in a vocal book that I have that's a great book. Um, and I have to go back and look at it again, but I think it was I'm not sure if they he was separating the voice in the low and the high. He said I think it was the low and the high, and the low had a harmonic of a fifth, and the higher had a harmonic of an octave.
mm,
That just made me think about that,
mm,
because of course the harmonics are,
mm.
you know, it fills up our ears, right? That was really beautiful. Her sound is so gorgeous, and that
Oh,
song, I've never heard a bass do that song like that. That was amazing.
I love the way she plays the song. It's great. I mean, she finds her own way to play the song, and it's wow.
Yeah,
Sure,
beautiful, Marie.
she's a great player, and she's playing at the opera. She's a classical player, so
Mm,
she opened my minds to classical too more, and
yeah,
uh, and it was amazing to meet Marie Christine and discover classical music in the room, not only on CD, but
yeah,
be in the opera or in the room to listen to her play all the opera and symphonic stuff, and to be in the place and discover all the repertoire. It's a great experience, always, always.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I can see that.
mm.
Um, Meredith wants to meet you on Zoom here. So, I mean, I could bring her on, but Meredith, it's all about him. But I could send you a Zoom, Meredith, if you want. You have to let me know if you would like to actually join us here on Zoom. And she said
Oh,
she loves what you said about her. Thank you for having
she's
you.
fantastic. I love
And
her. Wow.
Marie's going happy to meet me in Paris. Woohoo! It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to hear your group, Marie. It's going to be wonderful. I'm
Ah,
really looking
sure.
forward to that.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. Um, let's see. There's some other. You had a bunch of pictures, which I thought was pretty cool. Um, so let's see. We did the Carl Schroeder.
Okay, that's Carl. And then, well, sunny side for Fred. When I was in LA, the weekend I go to the beach, Malibu and Venice. And when I came back to Carl class on Monday, I was only red as because of the sun. So
Yes.
Carl composed a piece on the studio, and he called this "Sunny Side for Fred," and improvised a melody on the sunny side of the street chords.
Ah, and then I guess your nickname is Freddie, huh?
That's right, Freddie.
And there he is, Carl Schroeder.
In 205, like.
Do you know that Carl Schroeder actually was responsible for really introducing me to improvisation in a different way?
Wow.
Uh, I'll get out of share for a minute. What he did was he said to me, you know, I'm wondering if singers can learn about improvisation like pianists can. So he was giving, what's it called? Tonal center? Can't remember what he called it. Um, like there was a handful of songs, 5 songs, Autumn Leaves, Girl from Ipanema, 500 Miles High, Joy Spring. I think there was one more. And so he would give you the ones and the sevens moving through,
Hmm.
and then scales from those notes.
Hmm.
So once the singer kind of absorb, and I guess he did it with his piano players. So you absorb that first, the ones and the sevens, and then you can learn and apply the scales like that. Really opened up my ears a lot, and I had two other girlfriends who were great singers who also came into the fold as well.
That's great.
Um, yeah, really very cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's such a okay. And then
Yeah, so Carl introduced me to classical more. So, and recently, perhaps that's the next picture, Cathy, you have. Uh, I did. It's a beautiful experience with my friend Laurent Naouri, which is an amazing opera singer, and we did a record together, guitar and voice. And
yeah,
perhaps you can put a song if you want on the We Transfer. And it's just French classical music. It's in French and mostly Gabriel Fauré, some Debussy and Poulenc too. Um, Perhaps in the We Transfer, perhaps it would be nice. Or there is a video on the
yeah. There's a
first
video, right?
on the first We Transfer. If you want, you have
Oh, okay. That's where I saw it. Okay, let's see.
and it could be a good moment for that if you like.
Is this it right here?
Exactly, perfect.
Yeah, this guy is a gorgeous singer. Wow.
Le long du quai, les grands vaisseaux que là-haut l'incline en silence ne prennent pas garde au berceau que la main des femmes balance. Mais viendra le jour des adieux, car il faut que les femmes pleurent et que les hommes curieux tentent les horizons qui et ce jour-là, les grands vaisseaux fuyant le port qui diminue, sentent leur masse retenue par l'âme des lointains berceaux. Par l'âme des lointains
Gorgeous. That's really quite beautiful.
So it's a Gabriel Fauré melody. I mean, Gabriel Fauré, who was a little bit before Ravel and Debussy, was a master for write songs, melodies with just piano and a voice. And it's a little piece, but in a little piece, it's an amazing world each time. And he wrote melody during all his life, and from the beginning to the ending, it's so much beauty. I mean, it's amazing the way he wrote. I love him.
Very, very beautiful. And are you are you playing your own thing or are you playing what's written?
So I take the piano piece and I extract the melody and the chord, and I keep some little feel sometime, and I make my world with that. So I keep the bass, I keep the chords, I keep the melody, and kind of, you know, work with that, you know. And for years,
really
thank you. For years, I was practicing some classical piece like this, but it was just by myself, you know, to expand my harmonic vocabulary. And once we met Laurent, I met Laurent in an evening. He said, we speak a little. He said, oh, you like Fauré? Oh, say, I love Fauré. Oh, we can try a tune, and we tried a tune. And so I didn't think about playing his music. I just practicing it, you know, for me. And then give me the authorization, somehow the permission to, oh, we're going to do it together, you know?
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that.
Really beautiful. He's a stunning singer.
I mean, he's an amazing opera singer. He's traveling in all the world. And his wife too is amazing. His wife is Nathalie Dessay. She's one of the most famous opera singers in the world. And we did a beautiful project together. Just before the COVID, we played a concert au Théâtre des Champs-Élysées. It was around French composer, classical and songs too. And we collaborate with a great friend, pianist, Guillaume de Chassis, which is a great guy. And we kind of direct the music together. And if you wish to listen a song, there is a tune from Fauré that I arranged for that concert. If you wish, it could be perhaps a good moment. The number 4. It's After a Dream. Number 4.
Après?
Après un rêve.
Okay.
So it's au Théâtre des Champs-Élysées.
Oops. Oh, yeah.
Ouais.
That's it.
So it's a live recording, hein, Cathy. So excuse the sound. But you could have an idea of his wife too, which is great too.
Yeah.
It's one of the most Gabriel Fauré melody, Après un rêve.
Oh, really?
Ouais.
Oh.
Dans un sommeil que charmait ton image, je rêvais le bonheur à ton mirage. Tes yeux étaient plus doux, ta voix pure et sonore
That's pretty interesting, huh?
Mm.
Oh, very it seems like it has a lot of influences in it.
Mm.
But Fauré was that's a Fauré, right?
That's for it.
And when was Fauré alive?
He was alive he was born in 1845 and he
Okay.
died in
Oh.
1924.
And that music was thought of as classical or was it popular at that time or because it's kind
No, it was not popular. No,
no, oh,
no. But I think he's one of the master of music in this planet. You know,
yeah,
the way he hear harmony and melodies is just amazing. I mean, well, he was so in advance. I mean, he's so great in itself, and he explains what's come next. That's
yeah,
amazing. I mean,
yeah.
there's all the jazz harmonic vocabulary are in Fauré already, even before. But Fauré he used so many great things we love to use in jazz. I mean, he's so advanced. It's amazing.
Gorgeous.
Hmm.
Wow. I love it. Meredith wants to see the sheet music.
I will send you to you, Meredith. I arranged the tune. So what I did, I take the tune. I respect the melodies. Nathalie singing the melody, and I wrote a second voice for Laurent, and I arranged for the band on that tune.
Uh,
I will do it, Meredith. Yeah, my pleasure.
My friend Roland wants to know, are they selling CD players in Paris?
Does that?
Can you still buy CD players
Yeah.
in Paris?
Yeah. And
There you go.
say, Roland, that's great because I am a CD lover, so I love to buy some CDs, and so I have something to listen here, and I love to have some CDs, and I buy some CDs for sure.
Joyce would like to know if you ever play Elizabethan love songs by Dowland and Campion.
Say it again.
She said, come on in, Jamie. Do you ever play Elizabethan love songs on guitar by Dowland and Campion? Come on in.
I don't think so.
All right. Da, 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 da.
No. Oh, Jamie.
Allez-vous, mon ami?
It's great to see you, man.
It's great to see you too.
Oh, man. So good.
Did Putter escape?
Yeah, I didn't see it till
Oh.
later. Sorry. He
Right.
could have brought Putter in. I
Yeah.
didn't know. He's doing good, boy. He sounds great.
It sounds great for sure.
Gorgeous.
Ah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be okay.
So Jamie's recording this week a bunch.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you, Jamie. I mean, I have so many souvenirs amazing. I met Jamie in GIT in '87, and he was one of my great teachers, a great musician, a great human being. And then later, when I came back for recording for Carl, we spent time at GIT to playing in the school before our recording. And then, was you there, Jimmy? Yes, you was there. Then I go back to meet Jimmy Weibel in 2008, and we spent time together with Jimmy Weibel and you, Jimmy. You remember that?
Vaguely, yeah.
Well, I remember that.
Cloudy back there.
Great time.
How's the record doing?
Oh, it's okay now. I'm very rich, but very slow. This is an art, being rich but slower. I am a master,
Excellent. I love your band. I love the keyboard player. I love the drummer.
Great band.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Gorgeous.
you so much.
Just gorgeous. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Really, wow. And Jamie sent me some music and some CDs, and this one is great. It's from I think 1992 probably.
We say 19
and playing. Jamie's playing great, and there is an amazing version of Body and Soul with Gary Willis on bass. I love that. This is great.
Wow.
This
Shit.
is great. Wow.
Yeah, I used to work with him
Wow.
too. I had a band once with Jeff Richman, Willis, and Tom Breckline.
Oh, that would be good.
But that we were very young, all of us. Then they went on to be brilliant, you know, brilliant, hugely successful, you know.
And you remember Gary Willis? I mean, he was in Scott Anderson band, and he was great. It was a very specific, what we call probably fusion, but it was amazing. And little by little, people learned that Gary Willis was playing amazing jazz. I mean, he was a jazz player. He is a jazz player.
He played with Wayne Shorter a lot.
He did.
Yeah.
And then a few other folks. I can't remember who else, but I saw him on some other good records. You know, my memory. If I don't have it within the last 10 years, it's like it's iffy.
That is a beautiful record. He's a fantastic writer. His songs are so beautiful that he writes, right?
Oh,
Jamie? Amazing.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Willis too.
So how was your rehearsal?
You know, it's going to be okay.
Oh, good.
Yep. It's gonna be okay. There's a couple changes I need to make to make it a little easier for people to read. But it's going to be fine.
which repertoire do you play?
Say again?
Which repertoire? Which songs?
Oh, mine.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh,
Yeah, he came down to LA to record.
super.
Yeah. Really nice.
Super.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, gosh, we've been talking about a lot of stuff. He's been showing pictures. You know, he did a recording with Carl Schroeder. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. Did you release it?
Gorgeous.
Oh, I bet it's great. Did you release it? Can we get it?
In 207th, it's not on the market now because there is no more. But I can send you a which transfer. No problem, if you wish.
Wow.
Nice cover, right?
Red shoes. Nice.
Right, sure.
It's a great cover, by the way, Frederic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Look at the picture number 20, Cathy.
Okay.
This one is for Jamie.
Oh,
GIT.
Ah!
Jimmy, in 207 at GIT, Hollywood, you know?
You know, he doesn't look that much different, right?
The same, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
that's a nice white shirt. I don't wear that anymore.
And look who this is.
Oh man, Sid.
This is Sid. I mean, Sid is my brother. I mean, I love him.
Yeah,
He's such a great guy, an amazing player.
Yeah.
And as far as solo guitar playing is amazing.
Yeah, he's got it for sure.
He's got it. I mean, he released some great Gershwin, some great Billy Strayhorn, and this guy.
Yeah, I'm going to record a song I wrote for Jimmy.
Ah, really?
Remember when he would go? You'd play for him, and then he'd tell you everything he liked. He'd be really encouraging, and then he'd lower his voice and go, "Now, I really must tell you," and he'd tell you what he wanted to do.
I love that.
So that's what I call this song. It's called I really must tell you.
Ah, that's great.
Cathy wrote lyrics for it. We're going to record it sometime in the future.
It's a beautiful song. Really beautiful song.
And the story about Jimmy is amazing. It's very touching for me because Carl Schroeder gave the Red Shoes CD to Jimmy Weibel, the duet, Carl and Jimmy listened to the record and he said to Carl, "Bring me this guitar player." And Carl, he said, but he's in Paris. He did no matter. I call him. I want to meet him. So Carl called me several times. He said, Fred, you don't know this guy. There is a guy now is coming again in GIT. He's a master musician, not only a guitar player, he's a master musician. You would like to meet him. Could you come? And of course I came.
Oh.
And I came 2 weeks in probably in 2007, probably something like that. And I spent 2 weeks and I rent an apartment in Hollywood. And Jimmy came every day from Pasadena with his car. He picked me, and we spent all days at his place playing and looking for ideas. And we did 2 little concerts and in a tea place in Pasadena.
Yeah.
You know that place probably, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And the second one, you have to know that story. We played in a little room, perhaps Shadows, I think, in Pasadena. Yeah. And Carl Schroeder told me, Fred, don't miss the second time. He said, of course, I won't miss because I think Jimmy has a surprise for you. Wow. So I came there and we set up the amp and the guitar. And before we stopped, Larry Coons came. And Larry Coons came and Jimmy would like that we play Larry Coons and I for a little set for him and the people before we played together in trio. So we did a duet with Larry Coons, and believe me, it's real. At the end of the set, there is a little earthquake. It was amazing. Everybody go out, you know. But it was a little thing. We kind of spent 30 minutes outside. We come back and we do the second set with Jimmy.
Nice.
It was amazing.
That's great.
That's
awesome.
That's very funny. What else do you have in here?
Jimmy and
there she is.
My girlfriend.
Oh, nice. Jimmy and Larry were very close.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, could you say a word about? We speak about Ted Green with Cathy. Did you play with him? Did you take a lesson with him?
I studied with him a little bit. Yeah, I would love to hear him play. He played so well.
That's Ted Green now.
Yeah, he was such a wonderful player.
Great player.
Amazing guy. Wow.
Yeah. And hey, is this? Oh, you have a.
This is Meredith.
Yeah, you have a.
I would like to say a word about Meredith D'Ambrosio. I love this woman, this artist, and this particular CDs by myself is one of my favorite because I love the way she comes for herself as a pianist and and she sings. And on that one, she picked just Arthur Schwartz and Dietz repertoire, the guys who wrote Alone Together.
Yeah.
So she played this repertoire, and the way she played piano for her voice, it's amazing. I mean, I love that record.
She's really great. She tried to show me in June some comping, but I'm not quite up to that level.
You recognize this guy?
Yeah. How cute is this picture?
This is Bob Doro.
Bob Doro. Oh my goodness.
This is Bob. I met Bob through a great friend who passed away 3 years ago, Claude Carrière, great friend. And I met Bob in New York, and then he came in Paris. And so we spent time in Paris doing walking in Paris and doing party and playing together. We did a gig too. And at that time, we were at Montmartre. We were at Montmartre in the afternoon at 4:00. And we kind of walked together. And he said, Fred, I'm a little thirsty. Let's take a little break, okay? We take a break. What about the pastis? What about the pastis? You know what the pastis is?
No.
It's a French alcohol, you know?
Oh,
And he knew that one. He takes that one, a strong one at 4 o'clock. So I said to Bob, that's the secret of longevity. He was already 92, something like that.
oh my God. He was a funny guy. Very, very nice guy, right?
Great guy and a
Yeah.
great player, great composer, amazing composer. I mean,
There he is again.
great composer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it looks like, is this you?
Ah, look here. My friend Claude Carrière, who passed away on the right. Claude was a very important person for me because before I knew him, I discovered jazz on the radio during the 70s and 80s. At that time, there is no my place. It was country, no clubs, no CDs, nothing. But the radio was there. And Claude was on the right side, was a radio guy. And he has an amazing program every week where he has a live concert.
Oh.
And people from everywhere. So mostly American players, Zoot Sims, Clark Terry, and everybody, and French guy too. And that's the first emission he did. Do you recognize the person on the center?
Blossom Dearie.
Yeah, one of my favorite musicians ever. That's Blossom Dearie on the center. She's great.
That's very cool. And is this Sheila Jordan? Yes, it is.
We did a 1 week amazing tour with Sheila Jordan in France.
Yes.
It was just before the COVID. It was such a great experience to play with her. I mean, a fantastic musician, and she was so funny too. Wow.
Yeah, she's really special. She's really special. And then this is one of your recordings, right?
Alors, this is when we prepare the emission. You say, oh, you played with a French singer, very nice, La Javanaise.
I remember this kind of.
This is this CD. Ouais.
I want to hear. Actually, I want to hear a little bit of that.
Yeah, you can get it in the.
And then your pals Duke and Strayhorn.
Oh, I'm a lover of Billy Strayhorn and Duke Ellington always.
Sure.
Come back to them all the times. I mean, they are. It's one of the great combination of artistic, amazing.
Yes. So, yeah. How did you send me music of this record?
In the which transfer audio?
Yeah. Let's see.
Probably you can find La Javanaise.
Okay. This sounds really good. This is how, when I first met Frederic, this, if, I don't know if we ever met before, but.
The guy who sings is an amazing French singer and player, alto player.
Par vous, mon amour, avant d'avoir eu vent de vous, mon amour, ne vous déplaise en dansant la javanaise
Serge Gainsbourg.
où nous aimions
I love this song too.
That's a great song.
une chanson.
La
À
Javanaise.
votre avis, qu'avons de l'amour
Something about love.
de vous à moi. Vous m'avez eu, mon amour,
Mon amour.
vous déplaise
Gotta check on something.
en dansant la javanaise. Nous aimions le temps d'une chanson à donner de parler.
Oh man.
He's so relaxed and so right on. It's great.
I love him.
Babile, bonjour Badobe Babile,
Yeah.
And he's so funny. I mean, he's a funny guy too.
And what is his name again?
Daniel Huck.
How do you spell it?
H comme adults. I don't know the name.
Yes, H.
U C and K like kangaroo, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Huck.
Oh,
Daniel
that's
Huck?
okay.
Or
Okay.
Hook? Daniel who?
Ouais.
J'avais envie de voir en vous cet amour
That's really interesting.
vous déplaise en dansant la javanaise. Nous aimions le temps d'une
He's so French.
So French.
La vie ne vaut d'être vécue sans amour. Et c'est vous qui l'avez voulu, mon amour. Que vous déplaise en dansant la javanaise. Nous devions le temps d'une cheveux de bébé.
Isn't he cool?
No way. Oh.
I love his singing. It's really fun.
And this guy, he's he's still alive, huh? But he was an alto player. He couldn't play anymore alto. He played for years with an amazing organ player in France who is called Eddie Louis. Have you heard about Eddie Louis?
I don't think so.
This guy he died several. He's an amazing player. He played with Stan Getz for years. Stan Getz was very in love with this French organ player, and so Daniel was the solist, alto solist with this guy, and he has so much jazz experience. He plays with everybody. You know, he's a great guy.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I think I lost the connection. So this guy you were just talking about, is that the guy we heard?
Right, Daniel Luc. Oui, Daniel Luc. Ouais. I spoke
So you were
about
just
Daniel
talking
Luc.
about him. Okay.
Exactly.
Wow. Um, wow. Meredith says the French own jazz.
Now we have to
Says
ask if we can borrow it from you.
I'm going to see him in Paris.
Yeah, don't tell me.
And I'm gonna go hear his girlfriend at the jazz club there with her band.
I'm jealous. Maybe I could, I have a sister-in-law that lives in Paris.
Oh, really? Come,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Okay.
You should come, man. I wait for you.
Okay.
So, wow, we've talked a lot about various things. We're almost over. It's almost been 2 hours. But trying to think, do you want to know anything, Jamie?
Are you going to come here anytime soon?
Nothing in particular, but I love to come. I love to come visit some friends in LA for sure, and I love to visit Meredith in Boston for sure. So I wish the COVID will be behind us, so it will be very easier to travel and
Yeah.
and visit some friends and make some music, and it would be great,
Absolutely. So Frederic, do you these days I find difficulty doing this, but I really want to listen, right? I want to put on something and listen and really absorb it, but there's so many other things to pay attention to that I find it difficult. Do you bring that in importance for yourself to listen, to sit down and like wipe out some time and just listen?
Cathy, I am a monk.
You are a monk?
I am a monk.
Wow, I did not know that. Jamie, did you
So,
know
so I have already, you know, so, so what I like to do mostly, I mean, I love to play a concert, and but what I like to do is take time and study and listen and read and be home and yes, being in in my own world, you know. It's and take time. It's I'm a slow person, so I don't want to hurry things, you know.
that? Yeah.
So so
So I think the answer is yes. You
yes,
you actually kind of wipe out a little part of time and then you sit and listen and get super involved, right?
yeah, I try to. Mm,
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I want to do more. I think I get distracted by business and
mm,
also by practicing,
for
just
sure.
keeping the voice in shape and just various things, but yeah, I kind of miss that. I used to do it more than I do it now. And you should see my list. I'm just going to check this out. I don't know if I've ever shown you this to you. So this is my list of things to pay attention to.
Mm,
Several pages of music to listen to.
ah,
But
wow. I
yeah,
can.
it's just silly. It just has to get out of my head.
Mm.
Otherwise, I think it's so important to remember it. But then I don't barely look at this.
But you are right to. This is great to have a list, Cathy. So you can open your mind. It's written on the paper. So if when you want to have time, you take the paper, but it's not in your head. So you are free here. It's great.
Thank you, Frederick. That's very kind of you. Hey, Meredith is going to cook oxtail soup for you when you come.
Oh, that's fantastic. I will come very soon, Meredith. I already smell the cookings. That's great.
Do you have one favorite guitar player who maybe somebody like that you listened to for years, maybe not alive anymore, but
Uh,
or do you
I
just
have
like
so
everybody?
I so many, Cathy. I mean, I love so many players.
Yeah.
From the beginning, I fell in love with the my first teacher. Make me in connection with Tal Farlow, with Jimmy Raney, and Barney Kessel. Then later, I fell in love with Jim Hall and Kenny Burrell and Benson and Wes Montgomery.
Yeah.
And then when I came in LA, I fell in love with Joe Diorio, Joe Pass, Jamie, Sid, Ted Green, Peter Sprague, you know. And I and everybody has something to say, which is fantastic. And I I kind of not grab, but I am. Uh, Everybody has something very specific that I love. So I keep this in mind. I keep this with me, and I make my something with everybody. You know,
Yeah.
Jimmy Weibel for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you know Phil Degree?
oh yes, by Sid Jacobs. Make me in connection with Phil. He's
Is he
amazing.
amazing? Yeah.
He's amazing.
Do you know him? Yeah, he's pretty well. I mean, yeah,
Mm.
we all share the same loves of everybody. Jamie and John Stoll have worked together too.
Mm. Ah, John Stower. Ouais.
I just saw
And
him earlier this.
uh, say, Jamie,
I just saw him earlier this year.
what do you say?
I just saw John Stoll earlier this
Oh,
year.
oh, great, great. I think I'm gonna see him in December because he gonna come in Paris. So each time he come, we spend one afternoon playing and all, you know. And
Nice.
You mean he's driving to Paris? He just drives everywhere, man.
Yeah, he's a world warrior.
Did you know Barry Zweig?
I didn't know him. I didn't met
Oh,
him.
you would have loved Barry.
Oh,
I mean, personally.
Paris.
not to mention musically, but I think I told you this, but I can say this because it's just such a cute little thing. But Barry's wife had a very funny sense of humor, and he said about John Stowell, he said he was raised by deer.
I love that.
I do too.
I love that. I love that.
For those of you who don't know John Stowell, he's just got this incredibly beautiful, innocent face.
Right.
Yeah.
There is Jimmy, Cathy, there is one amazing guitar player. I mean, there is so many great player in France. I mean, there is a family of guitar players amazing here from years. There is one completely amazing to me. His name is Nelson Veras. He's a Brazilian guy. You should check him, Jimmy, and he's fantastic. Nelson Veras.
Okay.
Veras. He has a discography. I mean, he's a so special player.
Oh.
So the world. It's an answer to my question to your friend. Very unknown player, unknown discography. Check this guy, Nelson Veras. It's amazing.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
That's great. We're going to listen. Actually, I just heard there's a brilliant pianist here who lives here from Venezuela, Otmaro Ruiz, and he's been playing. He did an incredible record with a guitarist named Bruno Mangiera from Brazil. I'll have to share with you the link. It's just really beautiful. Bruno is he's brilliant. Yeah, it's really good. Ooh!
Oh, thank you
Crazy stuff. Not only technically good, but musically, just you feel like brilliance. It's really beautiful. My friend, who's a great piano player, he saw who did I say? Julian Lage the other night.
Right.
He was totally blown away by him. He just said, not only does he have all the technique, but he has everything, just possibly the greatest guitar player he's ever heard.
He's a great player for sure.
Yeah.
I never saw him in person, but I listened to his discography. He's great player. Great player.
Yeah, and he's quite young, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was in Gary Burton band. He was in Gary
very
Burton.
young. I think you're right.
Yeah.
My friend, who's a very interesting, creative kind of starter guy, he introduced and got together Steve Swallow and Julian Lage.
Wow.
And he was going to make a record. I don't think they made it, but they were, talking, and they were introduced. They hadn't known each other before.
Wow, great.
That should be good, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, okay, so I've taken you for 2 hours. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Can't
Thank
wait to see you in person. It's going to be so much fun.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
Thank you. So fun. Thank you, Cathy. Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks for being here. It's wonderful to see you, Fred. Stay well.
Thank you. The same to you. Have a great day, great week recording and playing. That's going to be so fun.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Ouais.
And for those of you listening, tomorrow, my last live guest of the week is Wayne Bergeron, who's a trumpet player who has been on every recording, movie recording studio thing ever.
You can't get away from him.
He can't get away from him. He's always the lead trumpet player and wonderful player. So that's tomorrow. That should be an interesting conversation. Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye to everybody. Bye-bye.
A bientôt.
See you soon.
Okay.
Ciao.
Bye.